Hey folks, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, I'm still in Prague. Today was the Trezor event where they announced a new device, and I'll tell you more about that later. But I'm recording out of my hotel room, so apologies about the video and the sound quality. When I return back to the States, I will be in my studio with a proper mic and so forth. But there's some big crypto news that you need to know about, so make sure you watch and listen to the end. Let's start with the price of Bitcoin because we're seeing a lot of positive signs here. Yesterday, we highlighted that Bitcoin was starting to move up and that the price crossed over the 200-day moving average, which is very good. The RSI chart is moving away from the oversold zone, and the MACD showing the bears are losing momentum. Bitcoin today touched 114,000. Now, as I said yesterday, we are not out of the woods yet. So I want to make sure you are prepared for downside volatility because we know the market can fake us out. But as I've been saying, the macro thesis is that we are still in a bull market, and despite these short-term volatility and downsides and people getting emotional and fearful and much more, the macro thesis has not been invalidated. So very good sign here. Another major positive sign is that gold is starting to correct, folks. So it's pulling back. Just last week I was talking about gold being overbought, super overheated. Its RSI extended for a very long time, unlike anything we've seen in the past. And, I said gold was possibly in a blow-off top. So here's your correction. Now, this could be a local top or it could be a blow-off top. We'll just have to wait and see. Some of the other factors I was highlighting is that people were lining up around the globe to sell gold and much more. And when you see things like that, it's a sign of retail euphoria, which we usually see online or in the media and Google trend searches for Bitcoin, crypto, and the stock market as well. So gold, the MACD on the daily chart shows bulls are losing momentum. And as mentioned, the RSI moving away from the overbought zone. Once again, this could be a local top or a blow-off top. Regardless, we could see rotation back into crypto and stocks. So in my recent newsletter, if you haven't signed up, make sure you're signed up. It's free. I shared a chart showing the correlation between the gold and Bitcoin price. And when Bitcoin's pumping, gold is flat. When gold is pumping, Bitcoin is in a corrective phase. Same thing we're seeing right now. So the correlation continue here. It is not guaranteed, right? I always want to make sure that I'm fair and I'm not delusional. So this is a positive sign. Let's see how it plays out, right? I do believe it has a high probability of playing out versus not. So you're seeing a bounce in Bitcoin and gold pulling back. Very interesting, right? So these are the things I've been sharing with you guys. Again, if you just look at the data and you don't get emotional about it, you're not caught up in the feelings of this person said this and that. Just show me the data and what is it telling me? What story is it telling me, right? And I've been saying, guys, we are in a macro bull market for all assets. I've been saying that, beating that drum, where all of this is following global liquidity, and global liquidity itself shows us we have more room to run. So real estate, precious metals, crypto stocks, all hitting new highs. Why is that? It's all following liquidity. And, a great example with regards to real estate, we know the market is almost dead, right? There's not a lot of people buying and selling because rates are high, and a lot of people have been sitting on low rates since 2020 when the Fed cut rates down to zero, essentially, right? So why the hell would people want to sell, but yet the prices keep going up? So this is not a supply and demand thing here. This is liquidity rising because of debasement of currency and inflation, of course, and asset prices are going up. This is why you got to allocate to assets. And as Paul Tudor Jones said, Bitcoin and crypto are the fastest horses in the asset race. Now, some very bullish news coming out of the Federal Reserve Payments Innovation Conference today. If you guys recalled, I reported on this and I mentioned a lot of crypto companies were going to be attending. So Ellen was on site and she gave the following updates. Governor Chris Waller announced the central bank is proposing a new type of limited access master account, or what he calls a skinny master account, for all legally eligible institutions to receive direct access to the Fed's payment rails so they don't have to rely on partner banks. With this setup, they wouldn't access all the services of a full account, like the ability to borrow from the Fed, Importantly, every legally eligible entity could get one, and the legal rules for eligibility wouldn't change. Essentially, this new master account light would allow the Fed to greenlight innovative banks, including fintechs, stablecoin issuers, and other payment companies. This is a big deal for companies like Custodia Bank, that's Caitlin Long, and Kraken Exchange, which have spent years trying to get a Fed master account, with Custodia even taking the Fed to the court. It could also speed up access for companies like Ripple and Anchorage, which applied this year. Folks, step back and think about this. The Fed is on board, and the banks are on board, and we're going to see crypto companies become banks, or these neobanks, right? And we know folks like Coinbase, Ripple, and others have been talking about plans to do this. So I hope you see the direction the puck is heading in, and that central banks are on board. Just last week, what did I share with you? What the IMF director said, right? That's a huge capitulation moment. So you got these central bankers and all these folks on board, and they are now opening up the doors and allowing these crypto companies to participate. All of this will lead to the growth and maturation of the asset class, more liquidity, more building, more infrastructure, more users. So very bullish news here. And one statement, the Fed Governor Waller said in his opening remarks at the Fed's Payment Innovation Conference, he says, this is an acknowledgement that DLT, talking about distributed ledger technology, and crypto assets are no longer on the fringes, but are increasingly woven into the fabric of the payment and financial system. Folks, this is incredible. These are not statements to be taken lightly. They are coming from the Federal Reserve, the central bank of the United States, and other central bankers around the world doing the same and turning bullish. So we are seeing capitulation across the board. This is just incredible. And this is why I'm not only bullish on this cycle, but future bull markets as well. We're still in the early innings, compared to other asset classes like precious metals, like stocks, and much more. This is amazing. And we also got another report here from Eleanor Terra that crypto and AI czar David Sachs is scheduled to meet tomorrow with Republican members of the Senate Banking Committee to stress the importance of advancing the market structure out of the committee this year and address concerns from members like Senator John Kelly, who have publicly expressed reservations about the process. The meeting comes amid a flurry of crypto activity on the Hill tomorrow, including two industry roundtables, one hosted by Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and the other by Senator Tim Scott. Both Republican and Democrat sources I spoke with see the gatherings as positive momentum toward restarting bipartisan negotiations that have stalled in recent days. Folks, remember just yesterday I told you about the Democrats, the Senate Democrats meeting with crypto C-level executives. So things are progressing, guys. I'm still optimistic that this market structure bill, the Clarity Act, will get passed by December. If you recall, when I interviewed Congressman Tom Emmer about a month and a half ago, that was his timeline. So I think that's more realistic. Government moves slow. You get a government shutdown and all the political nonsense, but it is what it is. But guys, we're seeing some good signs here. This is very, very positive. Now, going back to the bull market thesis, right, that the bull market's not over. This is one of the items as to why I believe the bull market's not over. In addition, you have these huge narratives and milestone moments that why the hell would you do that in a bear market? You're going to do it now in the bull market and catch the momentum and much more, right? If we know how Wall Street and the government's tied together here, you think Larry Fink is wanting to do this in a bear market? No, he's looking to make as much returns on his investments, his ETFs, and much more. So put it all together, see the puzzle pieces, right? Just step back. Don't be emotional. Just look at what's happening, and it's pretty clear where things are headed, and this thing is not over. Now, there will be a point where we will have that blow off top, and I will turn bearish, and I'll say, I'll be on here, guys, it's done. It's done, right? That's it. Let's wait for the market to start correcting deeply so that we can back up the truck and buy the dips and get ready next bull market. So this is very good, and I think, once again, a huge catalyst. Now, folks, this episode is brought to you by Trezor. I mentioned earlier I am in Prague for the Trezor event, and today was amazing. They released the new hardware wallet called the Trezor Safe 7. It's amazing. I got to play around with it. It's a beautiful device, and it is quantum resistant. It is fully wireless, as far as connectivity. It's water resistant. It has a brand new chip that improves security. It's a beautiful device, so easy to use. And I think some of you may have seen the images and the videos I posted. It's just amazing. And they even updated the Trezor Suite software. So it used to be Trezor Suite Lite. Now it's fully Trezor Suite. And this allows you to easily manage your crypto. And of course, Trezor, they support all the top tokens, guys. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, new tokens such as BlackRock's BUIDL. So I believe Trezor really raised the bar here, setting a new standard for hardware wallets. And many of you know I believe in self-custody. And, one of the cool things about Trezor's devices since day one, they pioneered this, by the way. They started this in 2013. The hardware wallets are open source. Anyone can view the code out there. And that's how confident they are in their setup and security, that you can go look at the code and see if you find any flaws or if anything's wrong, right? So that's a really great feature. It's not a closed off environment where you don't know what's happening. So this, again, just amazing what Trezor has built here. And this device, like I said, just blows it out the water. So guys, if you'd like to check out the Trezor Safe 7, you can pre-order one on Trezor's website. Link will be in the description. And of course, you can always use my code ThinkingCrypto, all one word, ThinkingCrypto, to get 5% off. So folks, check it out. Brand new hardware wallet, top of the line, quantum resistant, and much more. Beautiful device. Check out the link in the description. Folks, Coinbase continues to acquire companies. They are on a mission, man, to build an incredible business and company here. And, their goal is to build like a super app and do some amazing things. And here they have acquired Echo, which is the leading on-chain capital raising platform. And they acquired this company for $375 million. So Echo's platform makes raising and investing more accessible to community members, either through a private Echo sale or a public sale that uses Sonar. By joining forces, we're making it easier for companies to raise funds and grow, and giving the community early access to unique investment opportunities. Man, Coinbase just continues to blow it out the water here with these amazing acquisitions. They're doing a lot. Most recently, of course, they partnered with Samsung. They now have like Bitcoin loans. I recently interviewed someone from Coinbase, and that interview is going to be published soon, where we went through a lot of these things. So huge news here. All right, moving ahead, Braille has integrated the XRP Ledger to solve the biggest payment pain point, moving regulated value easily. So Braille, it says here on their profile, create your own stablecoin. So Ripple said here in a tweet, now businesses can issue USD-backed stablecoins, settle in LUSD, and use the XRPL's built-in authorized trust lines and compliance features all through the API. So really, really great here. The folks at Braille said, we're thrilled to share that regulated stablecoins are now live on the XRP Ledger. So to all the haters who said, no one's going to use the XRP Ledger, man, all that, right? Look at the adoption that's happening. And I often tell you guys, go to rwa.xyz and look at what is happening on the XRP Ledger, in addition to other blockchains, right? But the XRP Ledger was pretty much had its hand tied behind its back because of the Ripple lawsuit. Now that's done. You're seeing a lot of building and expansion. So this is very bullish. If you hold XRP, you're seeing building activity, volume, and much more. Final news item here, and this is around Bitcoin mining company Hive. Many of you may recall I was with Hive at an event where they closed the market at the NASDAQ. This was earlier in the year. So Hive to expand Bitcoin mining capacity in Paraguay as one of the few Bitcoin miners still growing hash rate. So I think a lot of miners are preparing for more demand for Bitcoin, with ETFs, countries to establish strategic reserves, and much more. And Hive is doing a great job. They are one of the leading Bitcoin miners using renewable energy. So let me give you some of the details here. So they're expanding their hydroelectric power data center campus in Paraguay. The move is part of Hive's phase 3 expansion of its renewable capacity in the country, expanding its output to 100 megawatts. The build out is expected to begin in early 2026 and could be completed by the third quarter. Here's a quote: management expects this addition, also powered by renewable hydroelectric energy from the Itapiu Dam, I butchered that, but it's a dam, to be the largest facility of its kind in Paraguay and to increase Hive's global Bitcoin target to 35 exahash per second in 2026, the company wrote. Huge news. Huge news here. I don't hold the Hive stock. It's not possible to invest in anything, but if I had the capital I wanted to allocate, this would be one of the companies I would certainly invest in. Not financial advice, do your own research, but they're doing some big things, guys, and Bitcoin miners are ramping up and they're going to places where there's low cost energy and using renewable energy. The demand for Bitcoin continues to grow. Folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. If you appreciate this content, please subscribe to my free email newsletter on Substack. It's 100% free. Check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital. And my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you everything you need to know about crypto. Folks, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.